I'm Natasha Chilingarian.
I'm Michael Ogden. This is Shared Accounts with CU Times. It is time to play our last game of 2025 here on the show. Today, we're going to revisit a game I've tried to get right several times. I think I might have it. It is CU Times Mad Libs Holiday
Ooh.
Edition. You might remember, audience and producer Zach and Natasha, that the first time I did this, it was way too long. It took forever to
Right.
go through it. And then the second time was a little bit better. I think I've tightened up how this all works. And what I'm doing is I'm going to bring up the document. Yeah. I've written Mad Libs. I'm just going to say it's a holiday themed Mad Lib. Okay.
Okay.
I'll tell you what it is after we're done. Zach, are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. We'll start with Natasha. Okay.
Okay.
I think I only have 9 things here. So, first one, and just answer really quick. I'm going to fill it in here. Okay. A holiday item.
Mistletoe.
Great. Okay. Zach, holiday food.
Ham.
Ham? Okay.
Ham.
It's all honey baked
Ham.
ham. Honey baked
Okay.
ham.
Natasha, an adjective.
Sparkly.
Okay. Zach, an animal.
A tiger.
Great. Natasha, warm beverage.
Hot toddy.
Good. Zach, a noun.
A holiday noun or just a noun?
Just a noun.
Train.
Train. Okay. Natasha, I'll give you a second to think on this one.
Okay.
Weird holiday mishap.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
Someone gets electrocuted while putting up the Christmas tree. I don't
Okay.
know. I was trying to think of like National Lampoons or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
their
yeah.
holiday movie.
Okay. Last 2. Zach, plural noun.
Presents.
Presents. Natasha, last one. Adjective.
Tipsy.
Okay, we'll go with that. Okay, here it is. This is a Shared Accounts with CU Times Holiday Mad Libs. The title is A Very CU Times Holiday Episode. Here we go. This week on Shared Accounts with CU Times, Michael, Natasha, and Zach gather in a studio decorated with mistletoe and the faint smell of ham. Michael opens the show wearing a sparkly sweater featuring a credit union tiger. Natasha sips her hot toddy and says, "Nothing says holiday season like a good story about a train gone wrong at a branch." Zach, adjusting tinsel on the soundboard, mutters, "At least it's less chaotic than last year's someone gets electrocuted while putting up a Christmas tree." As they wrap up the episode, the trio exchanges presents. You kind of nailed that one, Zach. And wishes listeners a tipsy holiday season. Credit union style. That's it.
That's perfect.
Yeah, Zach kind of nailed presents.
And it was almost like it was
on the nose.
Planned. Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit not as weird as a Mad Lib should be, but
yeah, I know. Again,
yeah,
and
I
that's
like it. Yeah.
Our Mad Libs always fall a little short, I think, sometimes.
That's okay. We still got time to get in later on.
2026.
Yeah.
Okay, from here on out, though, people, we've got a great episode coming up. Thanks for being here, and welcome to Shared Accounts with CU Times. Coming up, we are chatting with Cristina Lehman. She is the Director of PR at Addition Financial Credit Union and Executive Director of the Addition Financial Foundation. You know this whole gang at Addition. They're good friends of the pod. You may recall our very special episode with the 3 Kevins of the Addition C-Suite. It's a great time to have her on because it is the season of giving in the credit union world right now, after all. And so she is going to be talking about all the ways the Addition Financial Foundation's given back. And we have to point out that Cristina was one of our Luminaries winners back in 2024. She won for her work in the community with the Community Impact Award. We really love her and glad she's on. But before we get to that, first up, we got to take a break. Talk with Natasha. Hey, Ann.
Hey, Ann.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. I am. I'm trying to envision what a break looks like,
Right.
for the
Right.
holidays. I can't quite get there yet. We still got a bunch of work to do before we get there, but I am trying. It is on the horizon.
Yeah, it is. It's that weird time where we're
Yeah.
still super busy, but it's right around the corner and you can't really imagine it. And then it'll probably just happen like abruptly. And then we'll be like,
Right.
oh,
Right.
what am I going to do with myself now?
Okay. So
Anyway.
let's get to it. We had a pretty
Yeah.
lengthy interview with
We did.
Cristina. It was so good and so nice to see her and talk to her. But I got to ask you, what'd you watch this past week?
Yeah, so I've been watching 2 shows, and it's interesting because they kind of are similar or have a lot in common.
Okay.
I'm watching the Welcome to Derry on HBO, which is the prequel to all of the Stephen King It, that whole story.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one I'm watching is the season 5 of Stranger Things on Netflix. So it's funny because I keep going back and forth, like when episodes come up. They're like, so they're both, about, it's like a group of kids. It takes place like in the past. So like the Welcome to Derry's in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Stranger Things is in the 80s. They're all fighting a scary monster. And there's also another thing that's in common is there's this big military like aspect in
you're right.
seasons.
Yeah.
And I just realized that last night when I was watching the Stranger Things.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I've been watching lately. I would say I prefer the Welcome to Derry because it's more of like a proper horror, like for adults.
Yeah.
But like Stranger Things it kind of has, I don't know. I mean, I like it. I like it. Okay. I would say not as much as some people that are like obsessed with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit of a cheesy element to it. Sure. A little bit too cheesy for me, but it is fun. So
I saw that they're doing the finale of Stranger Things. They're showing it in theaters.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's like a 2.5 hour or 3 hour thing.
Wow. Yeah, the episodes are long. They're like almost movie length episodes. I think the last one is it like on Christmas or New Year's Eve? Like it's on.
I think it's New Year's Eve. That sounds right.
Okay. Yeah.
So look for it in your local theater.
Yeah. Okay. And what about you? What have you been watching?
have been watching some really crazy stuff, and I'm not going to mention all of them, but I'm going to mention 2. One I watched a few days ago. It's called The Coffee Table.
Oh boy.
And
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It is a horror movie, technically. Yep. About a coffee table. That's all I can tell you.
That's all you can say, I think. Yeah.
I had a pretty darn good time watching it. I laughed a lot. It was really gross, but it legit all takes place within just a few hours, and it's about a coffee table.
Okay. And it's in Spanish, I believe?
Yes, it's from Spain.
Okay.
I believe. And it's right now it's on Shudder, if you have that. Let's see. Oh, another really stupid one I watched, but also had a really good time watching it. It's a movie called Slacks. Slaxx. And yep, it is about a pair of killer jeans.
Oh, wow.
It is so dumb, it's fun. Like it goes so far in the dumb world that it just becomes a really good time to watch. It's silly. Slacks.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds goofy. I think,
but I had a great time with it. Can I tell you something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to look at my stats for the year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I bet you have some great stats on Letterboxd.
Well, I just wanted to share, because I'm going to be sending out emails to our guests from the year. The playlist of all their songs that they've mentioned or their bands, and then a list on Letterboxd of all the movies they watched this year. But I just wanted to let you know I have watched 167 movies this year.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. No, it doesn't surprise me.
And
that's your thing. Yeah. Well, I feel like I've been very light on the movies recently. It's been a lot of just shows and like
watch
YouTube.
A lot of TV. Yeah. You watch way more than I do on that.
Yeah. I know. I don't.
Anyway, it's been a fun year.
Okay, great. Yeah. But that's just real quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I feel like a lot of podcasters who talk about like movies at this time of year would have to like include one holiday theme thing. And we have we just watch gross, scary stuff even during the holidays, which cracks me up.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. I mean, let me ask you, are there any holiday movies that you've ever liked or would watch around the holidays?
I mean, I don't care for them particularly, but I mean, I will say as a kid, I was able to watch it in theaters when it came out. A Christmas Story
Yeah. Okay.
was really a fun time in the theater. I don't know. I was
Yeah.
like
Oh.
11, 12,
Yeah.
and it was so funny and it was so different, for a holiday movie. I don't watch it anymore, but that was always sticks out to me as a fun one to watch.
Yeah.
What about you?
Absolutely. Yeah, well, for me, it was always the Home Alone, specifically Home Alone 2,
Okay.
the Lost in New York. Not
Yeah.
the first one so much, but
Yeah.
that one, I just have such great memories of watching it on Christmas Eve on VHS at home.
Hmm.
I just let like all the music, I think I got the soundtrack somehow. I
Okay.
just love it. It is just so much fun.
Cute.
Yeah. And it's funny to see now how, I don't know if you see like Macaulay Culkin is kind of reenacting some of the things on
Oh
promo
no, I
videos. I don't
didn't.
know exactly what he's doing, but he's been kind of back
Okay.
out there
All right.
now. Anyway.
No, I haven't
Okay.
seen that. Okay.
Well, all right, let's move on to some more holiday talk with the season of giving with
Yep.
Cristina. Such a great interview. We love her so much. A few things that you get to look forward to here in the interview. She talks about how she is really blazing a new path with corporate community giving in a new
Yeah.
way. She didn't follow like the traditional path to charitable foundation work, as she talks about. She kind of, came into it after a background in PR and in teaching as well. So she really brings in an outside perspective, and she's hoping to share that perspective and philosophy with the rest of the credit union industry.
Hmm.
She talks about some of the ways Addition Financial determines where the biggest needs are in the community, in terms of like which organizations to give back to. I thought that was a really interesting
Yeah.
conversation. And then also, of course, we had our really fun closing discussion to close out the interview. This includes, number one, some talk about reality TV shows back in the aughts.
Hmm.
And number two, some delicious spiked eggnog
Yeah.
that Michael was very excited about.
Exactly.
We have all that coming up next.
Hey, listeners, the CU Growth and Innovation Summit is where credit union leaders can tackle real challenges such as AI, lending, compliance, and a lot more. It's a really fun show. I was able to go down there last year. It's all peer led, action focused. There are no slideshows, just smart strategy and great conversations. It is happening February 9th through 11th in Oak Brook, Illinois. That's just outside Chicago. You can register now at cugrowthsummit.com. That's cugrowthsummit.com.
Joining us in the virtual studio today is Cristina Lehman. She is the Director of PR at Addition Financial Credit Union, and she's also the Executive Director of the Addition Foundation out in the Orlando, Florida area. Hey, Cristina, welcome to Shared Accounts.
Hi, guys. I'm so excited
Hi.
to join you guys today.
Cristina!
Yes, we're so happy to have you here because you guys over at Addition in Orlando are good friends of ours, good friends of the pod. I know we've had all of your C-suite Kevins have been on the pod
That's
before.
right.
So yeah, we're so happy to have you and get to know you a little bit better, Cristina, and chat about all things season of giving related. So
Yeah, I am honored to have been invited to be with such a great group of friends. I listen to your podcast all the time, so it feels like I'm just listening to my besties chatting on the phone.
Well, thank you, Cristina.
Aw, we appreciate that.
We love you so much.
So yeah, first, since this is your first time here on the pod, would you want to maybe just start out with telling us a little bit about your professional background and how you landed at Addition? It looks like you worked in the education sector for a while before joining Addition in 2019, just based on my LinkedIn sleuthing of you. Yeah, is that correct? And can you kind of just maybe tell us a little bit of your story?
Yeah, so I actually am a second career teacher. So I started in the comms field. My major is radio television with a minor in marketing. So I started in that field, but then I had my quarter life crisis and I ended up being a high school teacher for 7 years.
Oh,
And
wow.
I taught entrepreneurship, digital design, television production, and I loved it. I loved it so much. Like that, the teenage high school years are so fun. But I was ready. And then from there, I moved and started like the best of both worlds. I got hired to be the PR comms specialist for the entire school district that I worked at. So
Wow.
it was both of my careers like smashed together, and I got to work internal, external comms, media relations. It was great. But after that, I kind of noticed that there was not room for advancement.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to be very strategic on where I went to next. So I really only was looking at like 4 or 5 different companies, and actually CFE Federal Credit Union, which is what we were called before we changed our name to Addition. Being a former educator, CFE supported teachers. I was already a member. Like, I had been a member already for like 7 or 8 years, because I started a credit union account because my dad's like, you got to go into a credit union. They're so much better than banks. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, Dad, whatever you say.
Good for him, yeah.
And so fortunate that they hired me on as the marketing manager here at the credit union. And then after 5 years, I kind of blazed my own trail and created a public relations department, and was blessed and so lucky that our CEO said, I want you to also run our foundation. Yeah. So still figuring that out, but it has been a fun joy. So yeah, a very interesting career I've had so far.
I have 2 follow-up questions. One, what was the name of the high school?
Lake Howell High School in Seminole County.
What was the mascot?
I knew you were going to ask me this.
I have.
They were the Silverhawks, and their colors are blue and silver.
Okay.
Not that ugly brown and gold from your last guess. That's gross.
Barf.
I know,
you're right. No.
Like, get out of here.
Okay, thank you. So let's explore further into the foundation work, because it launched in 2022. You became its first executive director. Talk about those early days of launching the foundation and what it was like for you behind the scenes.
It's really interesting because when the foundation was launched, I had nothing to do with it. Like, I was the marketing manager at the time. Our CEO, Kevin, and my C-suite chief at the time, they were kind of working and creating it with our legal team. So I really had nothing to do with it. So I can take zero credit for the first like 2.5 years. Lucky for me, I didn't have to do all the filing for an EIN or like doing all that stuff, which now we're doing. I'm assisting doing it with our credit union we just merged into us. So kind of learning all that. But lucky for me, all of that was established already. But there was a board of directors, but there was no executive director. So when I was proposing the public relations team, Kevin, who you guys had met before, he was like, if you do this, I want you to also be the executive director. And I turned to him and I said, I don't know. What does that mean? Like, I don't know being an I've never even served on a board. I don't know anything about it. And he's like, you'll figure it out.
Okay. Well, he had faith in you. Yeah.
So really at the time, the only thing the foundation was supporting was our grants, which we had done 1 year. And that year we did $165,000 worth of grants for that first year. So I took that over, and I'm very fortunate that our board is so supportive of everything all my crazy ideas. We have really become a very unique entity that that's why I'm so glad I'm talking to you guys today. I'm really passionate about getting the word out about how we're running our foundation, because it's so replicatable. And I think it's the way that we should really start thinking about nonprofit work and the nonprofit sector merging with the corporate world.
See, Kevin was right.
I know.
You will figure it out. No, I mean, legit. You have now, you're all in, man. And you're doing a wonderful job with it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is great.
That's inspiring, I think, because it shows, even if it's something someone hasn't done before, like a job title, or like, I don't even know, like, what does that mean? You can do it. So I love that. I think that's very inspiring.
I also think that the fact that I don't have any nonprofit experience has actually been a much bigger benefit than hindrance, because I don't really know, like, I don't know the background of it. So I propose things that make sense to me, not because it's always been done that way. So I really think we're breaking down some barriers here in Central Florida, and I really, really hope that it can be groundbreaking.
Great point.
Absolutely. So, Cristina, could you talk a little bit more about, because obviously now, you have 2 roles officially at Addition that you're kind of juggling. I'm curious what does your role and your days, I guess, look like now, as far as how you're juggling being the director of PR, also being the executive director of the foundation? And is there overlap between the two, or ways that they kind of connect with one another?
They overlap a lot. thankfully, even though I keep telling Kevin, I'm like, one day I can't do both jobs. Like, we're going to keep going. And then when that day does come, it's going to be like a tearjerker because I love both of my jobs. Like, I feel so fortunate to have, like, who could say like that they have one job they love? I have two jobs I love. Like, I can't, like, I'm like the most, I say that I'm lucky, but I also know that I put in all the hard work to get to this point. So I think both can be true. What I'm fortunate is I'm the only one technically as part of the foundation, but because my PR team, there's 4 of us total. One's in Tallahassee, and then the rest of us are here in Central Florida. And they are, I always joke, I'm like, you guys are part of the foundation too. And then the marketing team also always helps us. And we've built a culture of give back and giving back to the community and supporting the foundation, and that the foundation is everyone in this credit, the team members and the members. This is their foundation just as much as it is mine. So I really don't have to beg many people to help me because they see the vision and they understand the impact. So it has been really great. And because we kind of take in the nonprofits, Aaron on my team, he is our media relations person and corporate comms person. He's written press releases for our nonprofits. He has connected them with TV stations and to give them exposure. Karina does our video production and our social media. She has produced videos about them so that they can share. We always share about them on our social media pages because really one of the biggest things we can impact is exposure. Because one thing they always said when I met with them is we're the best kept secret. I'm like, that's not a good thing. You can't help people if people don't know who you are. So even at our big foundation event, we do one big like kind of check presentation event and I host it and I tell them, I'm like, I'm not going to ask you for 1 cent. What I'm going to ask you is for your influence and for your network. And this is a exposure raiser, not a fundraiser. Like everyone in this room, all these nonprofits need your circle of influence and that costs you nothing. So that's something that is definitely a PR, my PR hat working to help all of our, not only our foundation, but our nonprofit partners.
Right. And we love Aaron, by the way. We were able to see him pretty quick when we were down in Orlando for Luminaries.
I know. I'm so bummed that I missed you guys, but
we were equally bummed, but I got to say it was so fun hanging out with Aaron. We had sushi, some drinks, and we just talked we had a couple hours there. It was great.
Next time.
It's next year. We'll be back.
I mean, I am a former luminary.
You absolutely are.
I had the absolute honor of winning last year for Community Impact Individual, and that was one of the highlights still. And I'll never forget being on stage and like Kevin and Jason, my 2 bosses are like in the audience and I get to thank them for everything, being in a group of their peers. Yeah, that was a really special moment. So thank you so much for that.
You bet. I vividly remember it because if I'm not mistaken, you gave your speech. I was standing right near you up by the podium. And I think you whispered, I have to go pick up my child.
Yeah.
You had to leave really quick.
I did. My son was in tech. If any of you have theater kids or have been in theater, it was tech week. So I had to like run over and go pick him up from tech. So yeah,
it was adorable. Night. I loved it. Thanks. Okay, let's go back to the foundation really quick.
Yes.
And talk about the season of giving volunteer opportunities that's going on right now with the Edition team. And you all have allotted 16 volunteer time off hours.
Yep.
How are you incentivizing the employees to participate in the opportunities, and then what kind of impacts are your employees making in the community so far?
We've had 16 hours of volunteer time for as long as I know. Okay. Part-time and full-time team members. So when I became part of the foundation, nobody was really doing anything or really tracking our volunteer time here at the credit union. So I just kind of like said, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And at the time, this was 2 years ago, we had a total about 750 hours, which isn't bad. But I challenged our team members last year to double that. And we put out surveys and we talked to people like, what's stopping you from using the time? And we got a bunch of different things and we kind of broke down those walls. And last year they doubled their amount of time. We did 1,550 hours last year.
Good
yeah.
job.
And then this year we're with all of our season of giving and just giving throughout the year. My goal is 1,750. So we're getting really close. We're going to cut it close this year, but our team members, really incentivizing them isn't that difficult. Like, they love to give back. Like, we just did a gift wrapping. We have a community room at our credit union headquarters, and we worked with UCP of Central Florida, which is United Cerebral Palsy, and they needed gift wrapping. We gift wrapped all day yesterday, and our team members, like, we put these opportunities, like these organized opportunities, and within 5-10 minutes, they're full. Like 30 team members have signed up to use their VTO time. And then even on top of that, every quarter, we call it addition to the community. And you see what we did there?
Okay, yeah, of course.
So every quarter we do an addition to the community give back, and they're all tied back to our grant recipients. So this quarter we did the sharing center. The quarter before we did kickoff. Like, so our grant recipients aren't just receiving unrestricted funds, they're also receiving volunteers to give back. So but with Season of Giving, actually, this was Erin's brainchild, so I cannot take full credit for this. So cheers to Erin. And it's amazing. And now with our credit union new branches up in North Florida and South Georgia, we even have included them, and they're doing stuff with Big Second Harvest at the Big Bend and Ronald McDonald House, and like introducing them to our culture of give back has been so great, and they've been really excited. So we have done everything from, like I said, gift wrapping. We did donation sorting at Coalition for the Homeless. We decorated the lobby of Orlando Family Stage, getting them ready for Christmas. We did holiday decorating with Give Kids the World Village. So all of that, there's 10 different volunteer opportunities, and we're hoping to round out about 450 hours in the last 2 months.
Whoa.
So,
all right. Nice.
Yeah, really exciting.
Yeah, and as I wrote that question, like, how are you incentivizing employees to volunteer? I kind of second guessed it because I thought, well, maybe they don't need to incentivize them. Maybe they just want to do it. And so that's really good to hear that they're all so on board and interested. So
yeah, it wasn't really about incentivization. They didn't need to be incentivized. They needed roadblocks to be removed. So once we removed the roadblocks, I mean, giving back is a part of our top down, it's really incredible. And removing those roadblocks for them really opened the gates to the flood of our team members just wanting to be in the community.
Right. Okay, well, so going a little deeper into the whole Season of Giving concept, I feel like from our perspective at CU Times, I'll get press releases and photos all the time towards the end of the year of what different credit unions are doing. And, a lot of times it kind of is, it's like a standard thing, like a toy drive, a food drive, sponsoring holiday events. I mean, obviously, all these things are still very important to making an impact, but I'm wondering, what are some ways a credit union can maybe be a little more unique with their Season of Giving, holiday giving efforts, or more creative? Like, what would you say about how a credit union can kind of do something that stands out maybe from what others are doing?
Yeah, and like you said, I don't want to take away from anything. And Toys for Tots, Angel Tree, all of those are incredible, and we should be applauding. We are, all of us, applauding credit unions that are doing this and giving back, especially with our economy the way it is, and furloughs and all that stuff that we just went through in our country. But I think what sets us apart is that we are doing this all year round, but there's just a bigger concerted effort in November and December. And we really try to give. We found what made this successful and different is that we tried to find so many different types of ways to give back. So it isn't just we do have an angel tree that we do with this organization called Devereaux with foster children. So we do that, but we also do all these other types of things where you could donate an hour of your time to gift wrap, or you can donate half a day to go feed people at the Coalition for the Homeless. So I think giving and doing a variety of different types of volunteering, not just the traditional type of volunteering during the holidays, really sets us apart it can be challenging because it's some level of organization, but we have it so down pat that our team members, like, we have a file that's continuously getting updated with opportunities, and people have that bookmarked in their computers and they're checking there all the time. And I think that's what makes it different, is that they are different types of volunteering and different communities and different needs.
Cristina, how do you all determine which causes and organizations are most in need of your support?
It's two things. It's really, we've built such strong relationships within the community that we kind of know. Oh my gosh, I have the best story. Our collections team, and you guys know, like, sometimes collections can be scary. Nobody wants to call collections. Like, they have like this bad stigma. Our collections people are the nicest people on the planet, and they actually get 5-star reviews. They get some of the most 5-star reviews in our credit.
Amazing.
I know. So one of them came to us when people were being furloughed, and she came to me and she's like, us on the collections team keep hearing that people can't afford food. Like, they can't pay their car payment because it's either the car payment or groceries. She's like, we want to do something. We want to give back. And she's like, we want to do a drive, like a food drive. And that came from our collections team, hearing from our members that that's where they're struggling. So that's one way that we learn. We learn directly from our membership and what they're struggling with. With our grant cycle through the foundation, it's really unique, and I cannot take any credit for it because it was established before I joined the foundation. But the grants are only based on team member nominations.
Okay.
So we have like 6 weeks are open up, and team members can nominate the nonprofits. So we're kind of taking the legwork out of the nonprofits, because what I hear from them is that they're taking hours and hours and hours of time, valuable time, to like fill out one grant that they may get $1,000 for, or they might not even get it at all. So I'm like, no, let's take that out of your hands. Let's have our team members do the legwork. And then our team members, if their nonprofit does get selected, they're part of the surprise call. They're at the event. They're at the volunteering. So it's like a real special partnership that now our team members see that we care about what you care about.
Yeah.
It means something to us. We're listening to you. So we do it that way. And just relationships that we've built throughout the community. We really rely a lot on our team members, to be honest.
Okay. Well, I love that story, I'll say, with the collections department. Yeah, obviously a scary thing. Usually you wouldn't associate them with, being people members want to talk to. But no, I just say I love that story, and I'd love to hear more stories. So wanted to ask next, what is it, would you say, about community impact that makes it an area that you're passionate about? And do you have any, kind of along with that, any other like favorite stories or anecdotes since you've been involved with the foundation so far that you could share that really, demonstrate how it's really impacted someone's life, like directly? Maybe a tearjerker story is what I'm thinking here. Anything that you could share.
Yeah. The thing that pops up immediately, and there's so many stories about things that we have been able to impact, but this one stands out to me. So every year we have, I call it the community giving celebration. And at the celebration, like I said earlier, it's like the check presentation. It's a breakfast. It's at our Addition Financial Arena. It's really beautiful. And that breakfast is all about spoiling them and giving them, like, everybody at the table is handpicked to be at that table. There is a journalist at their table. There is elected official at their table. There's a representative. So we really make that into, because they don't have a lot of time to be going out to luncheons. So I wanted to make this something that's even more impactful for them. So we're at our event, and there's 10 nonprofits. They receive either $15,000 or $20,000 in an unrestricted grant. So we are a huge proponent of trust-based giving. But at the end this year, so we have a program called the Friends of the Foundation. And the Friends of the Foundation are just our team members that can put in as little as $1, through their payroll. And it goes straight to the foundation, and they're called Friends of the Foundation. So out of our 400 plus team members, a little over 100 of them give something back directly to our foundation. So this year, I really wanted to have them even more involved. So out of the 10 nonprofits that were selected for our grant class this year, I let them vote. I'm like, vote on who should receive an extra $5,000 directly from the Friends of the Foundation. And the nonprofit that was selected is a very small nonprofit started by a mom who saw a problem, and it's called Kickoff for Kids. And she gets donations and buys food to fill food pantries for area schools. So she gets surprised. She comes up on stage. She is bawling. And on stage, she tells me, I had a school reach out to me and I didn't have enough money to feed them.
Oh my God.
She said, this is the exact amount of money for me to feed this school for the entire school year.
Jeez.
Wow.
And she's like, I'm almost in tears. I'm like, that is what this is about. Like our team members believing in what we do and literally getting to see it happen. And she actually emailed me the response from the school, and the school was just like, whenever you think one person can't make a difference, that is not the truth. Like I have seen it with my own eyes. It's incredible.
Wow. It literally, saved someone's life. I mean, this food insecurity has been just crazy this year, but it's been cool also from our perspective to see how the credit unions have helped step up, especially like when the SNAP benefits stopped and, they just stepped right in and did this work. So yeah, well, that's a great story.
Cristina, I want to let you brag for a second. Not that you haven't been, but do you have any stats or something that kind of would help our audience demonstrate the impact your foundation's having on the community?
What I can share with you from an impact perspective is every year for the past 3 years, the past 2 years we have given, past 4 years, sorry. First year was $165,000. The last 3 years was $175,000 back to small and mid-sized nonprofits, directly back to them. So we have already impacted them. But not only that, we do $65,000 of scholarships every year for grad students and for incoming college freshmen. We do our Renovate to Educate program, which I would love to talk about because I'm so proud of that program.
Okay.
So this year, before we were doing makeovers for teacher classrooms. And this year we decided to pivot and do makeovers for the school's need pantries. So food pantry, like toiletries, hygiene products. So we did 4 schools and totally made over their pantries and filled them, which really not only impacts the one teacher, it impacts the whole school. Because for me, I saw firsthand being an educator in a public school that my kids were hungry. They came to me because they trusted me, and I had a drawer full of food and they could take whatever they wanted. And they can't learn unless their basic needs are met.
Yeah.
If their clothes are dirty or their shoes are broken or they're hungry, they're not going to learn trigonometry.
Right.
So that's something I'm really proud of, that impact. And we give back in so many ways. So yeah, I think those are the kind of stats that I'm really proud of.
Cristina, can I tell you, I've seen the photos of your renovations. And I was struck by 2 things. One, I was struck by irritated of the need that we have to do this. But then I'm very happy that you all are stepping in. The second reaction I had was, you know what? You are creating a very welcoming environment for a very humbling issue, for people to be able to come into something that's not just a closet or a back room dingy thing. Like, hey, listen, we care about you people. We love you. We want you to be healthy. You were just creating something I thought was such a much nicer environment than what I have seen in a lot of other places. So congratulations.
I'm so glad. Thank you, Michael. And that's really what we wanted to turn those spaces into. We wanted it to be a comfortable place that they don't walk in there ashamed.
Exactly.
They are just as, we wanted it to feel like dignity, a store. They do deserve that dignity.
Right.
It's hard for anyone to ask for help. Can you imagine a middle schooler coming in asking for feminine hygiene products because she can't afford, her family can't afford it?
Right.
Or we need to give them a space that they're not embarrassed to go to. And full circle moment.
Please.
So that the collections team that asked to collect food, We weren't able to do it for the holidays, but what we came up with was now we're collecting food to surprise those 4 schools and refill their pantries so that they have food for the rest of the year.
Surprise!
So,
Great.
yeah. So just continue that give back. I mean, we have 15,000 students in Orange, Osceola, Lake, and Seminole counties that are underneath the poverty level.
Jeez.
Wow.
15,000. That's 15,000 too many. And we can do
that's incredible.
To help make an impact for them.
Okay, Cristina. So actually wanted to just kind of piggybacking off of that last response there, wanted to talk a little bit more about your plans for the foundation before we move on to part 2. What are some of your goals for 2026 with the foundation, and in what ways do you hope to see it grow and impact the community down the road?
It's funny because I've learned so much through this. I want to make something that can be recreated and replicated all over the country. Like I want what we're doing. We had one of our nonprofit partners, CFC Arts, here in the Central Florida area, and their executive director, because we went and surprised them on National Philanthropy Day. And we're really big on, we want to support and feed into the staff and the team that's doing the good work, because they deserve to feel seen just as much as they put in to the people in the community that need help.
Right.
So we want to put into them as much as love and care as they put into the people that need their help. So he said something, he's like, what you're doing is so unique. Nobody else does it. And I said, that's true, but I don't want that. Like I want everyone else to be doing this, because from learning and taking everything in, I really feel like the philanthropy space is a really unbalanced way of doing philanthropy, like corporate philanthropy. Like if you think of it as a triangle, like if I'm aging myself, the old food chart, like the old pyramid. Our nonprofits are on the bottom of that pyramid. They're the ones who are doing the work. They're in the field. They're doing so much with so little resources. And then you have like corporations kind of right above it who could have the funds, but maybe not the ability to put in as much work. And then at the top of this pyramid are like the 1%ers who have all of the funds. And they are really the ones deciding who should be cared for. And I'm like, that does not make any sense to me. Like, to me, that's just like a very archaic way of thinking about it, and becoming so close to these nonprofits. It's like they are begging for help. And I'm like, you shouldn't be begging for help. We as a foundation, as a credit union, we need, and I tell them this all the time, I'm like, we as a corporation need you as much as you need us. We need to show our community that we are giving back, that we care for them, that people now are looking for companies that care. And I can't show people that we care if you don't allow us to care. So it's like, this is really mutually beneficial partnership. So I really want, as we care for them by providing them free quarterly workshops that they tell me what they want to learn about, while we give them volunteers, while we give them exposure, like all of that, we care for those that are doing the caring for the others. And if we as corporations can do the same all over the country, we can balance the scales even better when it comes to giving, because the people doing the work should not be begging for help themselves to do the work.
I would agree. Yeah.
So
I love that. Yeah.
My goal for 2026 is just to keep like having opportunities like these so we can share the message of what we're doing and just hopefully set a new standard of how giving back and how a company can care for their community.
Nice. Well, yeah, I love that philosophy of wanting to share with others, like not being kept a secret, but amplifying what you're doing so that others, other credit unions hopefully can see that and can bring it into their strategy. So, and that speaks to the whole cooperativeness of the industry. So I love that. Okay, well, Cristina, let's go ahead and move on to part 2 of our interview. This is the fun part. It's going to be all about you. Are you ready?
All of this has already been fun. I don't know how it could get any more fun.
Oh, here we go.
Well, we'll see. There's a test here. Okay, so first question. So obviously you and the whole Edition gang are in Central Florida. Is that where you're from? Are you from Florida originally?
I am actually Puerto Rican. Both my parents are Puerto Rican. They moved us, me and my brother, here when I was about 4. And
Oh,
then I've
wow.
been in Central Florida ever since. So that's why I don't have an accent. It's so funny because my parents have really thick Spanish accents.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
my
yeah.
mom would always say, like, oh, I don't like my accent. And I'm like, I have like the most boring, like American
You
accent.
do have an American. Yeah. Well, it's a little surprise, I guess, but yeah. So
So
do you remember anything about those days, like before you were 4 back in Puerto Rico, or?
no, but a lot of my family's still there. We're actually going to be taking my husband, white gringo.
Mhm.
He loves Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
loves it. So we're actually
Oh,
going there in March during spring break to see some family. And
Love it.
I love
oh,
La
fun.
Isla and Puerto
Yeah.
Rico. And so, yeah.
The couple of times I've been there, mofongo was one of my
Ay,
favorite.
mofongo,
Mo-
mijo,
Yeah,
mofongo.
it's so good.
So good.
Okay, what was your very first after school or summer job?
I worked at Ross Dress for Less
Oh,
for two and
Okay.
a half
okay.
years.
All right. Wait,
It
wait,
was
wait, wait, wait.
quite
Hold on. Did you what age are we talking about here?
I think I was 17.
Okay. Perfect
Yeah.
age to work at Ross Dress for Less. Great.
Yes. Boy, did I learn a lot. And then I
Okay.
also like over the summers and the winter breaks, like I worked 2 jobs. So I worked at Ross and at the Gap. And
Hmm.
then I worked at Ross and I worked at Sears, RIP Sears.
R.I.P.
So yeah, but Ross, I started in the fitting room and I grew all the way up to like cashier and then to customer service. And the gross, disgusting things that people tried to return
Oh,
and claim
don't.
that they
Oh,
never
Oh.
like. I had used pantyhose,
oh,
like
Oh
it
my
was
gosh.
disgusting.
oh.
But I
Wow.
learned a lot. I've had a lot of jobs, but I take away and learn something from every single one of them, including working at Ross.
Yeah. No, I'll say I was also a retail girl at high school, college. I worked at, well, first was a grocery store and then it was Mervyn's. I don't know if maybe they probably don't have it, didn't have it in Florida,
No, I
but it's
don't.
now it's like a Kohl's, but it's not around anymore. But yeah, I'll say you do learn a lot. You do learn a lot about just how to handle people and it's a good way to kind of
Yeah.
go into adulthood.
You learn
Um,
how gross people are.
you learn a lot of, yeah. Well, what I think of is just the theft that would happen and how
Yep.
you had to deal with that. That was very,
Yep. That was part of
yeah,
it too.
alarming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Great answer, by the way.
Going. All right. Yeah. So going into now more of your work background from years ago. So just looking at your LinkedIn page, there was one work experience from 2006 to 2007 that really caught my attention. I just had to ask you about it. You said you were a production associate for several reality shows on
Yes.
MTV and VH1. So if you're allowed to share, what shows did you work on?
Yeah. None of them exist now.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
What were they?
um,
I was a big reality watcher in those days too, so I'm just so curious. I'm like, oh my
then
God,
maybe
what was
you
it?
have. So you
Maybe.
probably have heard. So the first one I worked on was Hogan Knows Best, and that one was on VH1.
Oh, okay.
That was the one that kind of
Hulk
followed Hulk
Hogan?
Hogan and his
Yeah.
family around.
Yeah.
The one I worked on after that was for MTV, and that one was called Tiara Girls. That one only lasted for a
Oh,
season, and it was 10 episodes, and we followed around teenage pageant girls.
wow.
Oh,
Once I
good.
got to work on Tiara Girls, they moved me into casting.
Oh,
So I spent
Oh,
my days
wow.
like talking to pageant coaches and teenage moms and their mom or teenage girls and their moms, and like I
sure.
had
Wow.
to
That
write
must,
stories. So I think four of my pageant girls made it. Actually, MTV selected them to be on the show. So
Yeah.
that was a lot of fun. And then the third one that I worked on was for VH1. It was again one season. It was called My Big Fat Fabulous Wedding.
Okay.
And
okay.
the weddings had to be of spending at least $300,000.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
I cast $1 million wedding, and then I
Wow.
cast like 3 other ones. So 4 of my brides got on the show. And
Uh,
actually the pilot episode was the family who ended up being the Housewives of New Jersey. The Manzo
oh,
Oh
family,
my
they
goodness.
ended up
Yep,
being
yep.
our pilot episode. So that's who
Oh,
kicked off their
wow.
reality career. But
oh,
yeah,
Oh my
it's
gosh.
a
That really
lot of fun.
speaks. There were a lot of shows that really just kind of emphasized the excess of that era,
Mhm.
like that, what was it, like, See My Crib and Pimp
Yeah.
My Ride, and then My Super Sweet 16. I remember watching that one where people were, it was just like, wow, that is so cool. I would love to have like a separate conversation with you sometime to find out really what were these people like, and some of the diva-like behavior you must have seen.
Tasha, I've got stories for days. That'll be a whole other podcast.
We'll have to table that. That is so fun. Yeah.
Let's stick with reality here. Your reality of your family during the holidays. Do you all have any cute or unique holiday traditions that you are looking forward to this year?
I will tell you one we don't have. We do not do Elf on the Shelf. I'm way anti Elf on the Shelf. I'm not making that. Like, I see all these moms and dads that like make a disaster about for the elf. I'm like, you're gonna have to clean that up. Like, I'm not about that. So not about the elf. But one fun thing that I'm going back to my Puerto Rican roots is, I don't know if you guys have ever had coquito. Coquito is kind of like an Puerto Rican eggnog.
Oh, yes,
like the consistency, but it's with rum and coconut cream. My husband, again, who's gringuito, he's a white guy. He took my mom and my aunt's recipes and combined them. And he says his secret is he doubles the rum.
Good.
And it is delicious. We did even a blind taste test with 25 other Puerto Ricans, and his won.
Wow.
Wait, what's your husband's name?
His name is Mark.
Mark, bravo.
And every year he tries a new flavor. So this year was salted caramel coquito, which is delicioso. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So that's our fun little, so he makes a kid's coquito and then an adult coquito. So the kids also like love the coquito. So I would say that's our fun. And then we do Three Kings Day. After Christmas, we celebrate Three Kings Day.
Yep.
So we get to do some of that, my Hispanic heritage. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
I love that. I love that this went into a booze direction.
Always.
And I think Michael is going to want to try that.
I already wrote it down. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay. A couple more questions, Cristina. What was the very first album, CD, or piece of music that you ever bought or remember listening to when you were younger?
I do love that you didn't add cassette tape, because mine is on a cassette tape.
Okay.
And I can't remember which one of the three was my first one. So it's one of these three. It's very eclectic. It's either New Kids on the Block, MC Hammer, or Ace of Base.
Yes.
So you can tell I'm a early 90s child.
You are, yeah. I think we might be almost the exact same age, probably.
So wait.
So I don't know. It's one of those three.
What was, remind me, I'm drawing a blank, New Kids on the Block. What was their big hit?
Step by Step. Like,
okay, there you go.
By step. Yeah. Now you're going to have to pay like $10 for royalties for that.
Not doing that. Okay. Great answer. New Kids, Ace of Base, MC Hammer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Didn't MC Hammer had a reality show?
Did he?
I think he did.
Oh.
Anyway. Okay. Final question, Cristina. We ask everybody this. What was the last movie you watched?
I'm not a huge movie person. Like, I don't watch a lot of movies. I love television. That's why I wanted to work in television.
Sure.
The last movie I did, in all honesty, I watched, I did see Wicked for Good. I have a musical theater background, so I love that. But I'm a TV person, and I recently finished binging for the second time one of my favorite shows, which is Parks and Recreation. I love Parks and Rec. Yeah. I love Amy Poehler, and Aaron will attest that they call me the Leslie Knope of The Office. Like, Leslie Knope and I have a lot in common, including our passion for binders and for tabs and for handwritten notes.
Oh my gosh!
And so yeah, I have quite the affinity for Parks and Rec.
I love
and then my husband and I actually auditioned for The Amazing Race.
What?
I did not get a call back. Very upset about that. But we did, we threw that out there, see if the spaghetti will hit the wall, but never heard back.
That's fantastic. I love that Amazing Race. And Natasha, this is like the second episode almost in a row that somebody's brought up The Amazing Race.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, it was Alaska. Yeah, he binged like every season or something.
Yeah, with his kids.
Daughters.
Every season.
Okay.
Oh, Cristina,
yeah, we have three shows that we always watch, and that's with our family. It's that one, Survivor, and SNL. Like, those are the three that we always watch together as a family.
Nice.
They're classics, yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we could talk about TV all day. Anyway. All right, Cristina. Well, this has been so much fun. For our listeners, this was Cristina Lehman. She is PR and the Foundation Director with Addition Financial Credit Union. Also, our 2024 Luminaries winner for Community Impact Individual. Cristina, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you both so much. And next time you're in Orlando, we're going back to sushi and karaoke.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Christina, we love you.
Absolutely.
Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Love you too.
Thank you.
Okay. And to all of our listeners, thank you for downloading today's show. Please subscribe to Shared Accounts with CU Times and all the normal podcast places. And please share all of the episodes with everyone you know. I don't know, maybe a gift idea, Michael? Like, could be a free gift. There you go. Share the link.
Wrap it up.
Discuss it around the dinner table.
Yeah, if you're
whatever
it is. Yeah, if you're a cheap bastard, send them this as a gift. That'd be fun. But feel free to rate us 5 stars. We love it. As always, thank you so much to our producer, Zach Nyheisel. Thanks, Zach. Join us again next month as we start a new year, a new season, and we'll have new episodes of Shared Accounts with CU Times. Until then, thanks for listening.